Have you lived 60, 70, even 80 years and still feel like no one ever truly saw you? They saw the provider, the problem solver, the quiet man who handled things. But did anyone ever look past the surface and see your soul? The tired boy behind your strong back, the unspoken grief behind your calm voice? Maybe not. And maybe that's why the ache never left. Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." But I'd argue, the deeper fear is this: to live a full life and still feel invisible. You see, there are wounds that come from violence, and then there are wounds that come from silence, from the words you never heard, from the comfort you never received, from the moments when your pain was quiet, and so was everyone else. That's who I'm speaking to today. The man who was never allowed to fall apart. The man who kept going even when something in him stopped breathing long ago. Today, I'll share 5 gentle truths, not instructions, not advice, just 5 phrases, simple but sacred, that might begin to thaw the silence and soften what the world made hard. If you stay with me, something in you may shift, not because I've changed you, but because you finally turned back toward the boy inside and said, "I see you. I remember. I'm here now." Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. It helps me keep sharing these healing lessons about growing older with strength and peace. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's begin. Phrase number 1, I see you. Have you ever felt invisible, even in a room full of people? Not ignored on purpose, just unseen. That kind of ache begins early. Maybe you were a boy who brought home something you were proud of, but no one looked up. Maybe your joy wasn't mirrored, so you learned to shrink it, little by little. Carl Jung called it the shadow. Not evil, just the parts of us we hide when the world doesn't notice. And over time, what you hide doesn't disappear. It becomes tension in your shoulders, the silence after a wind, the way you brush off your own feelings. But healing begins not by changing who you are, but by turning toward the boy you once were and saying softly, "I see you," not to fix him, not to teach, just to be with him. You can close your eyes and imagine him walking into the room. He might be nervous, proud, or just tired. Don't judge, just notice, or try it in the mirror. Say the words out loud, "I see you," not for vanity, for visibility. Speak to the child who never heard those words. Let your presence be the witness you never had. The boy inside you didn't want applause. He just wanted someone to care. And now, you are that someone. You're not broken. You adapted to survive. And now, you're ready to be seen. Healing starts there. If this spoke to you, leave a comment and write. Number 1. We continue next with a quiet truth many men carry. The pain of feeling like they dan to belong. Phrase number 2. You belong here. There's a kind of pain that doesn't shout. It hums quietly beneath your daily life. It's the ache of not belonging. Maybe you felt it walking into a room where no one looked like you, thought like you, or truly welcomed you. And maybe that feeling didn't begin in old age, but long ago, in a classroom, in your family, in a world that told you who you were wasn't quite right. Carl Jung spoke of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming whole. And part of that journey is returning to the parts of yourself you once abandoned to fit in. The quiet part, the curious part, the part that laughed too loud or felt too much. Belonging doesn't come when you finally become good enough. It comes when you stop trying to be someone else. Try this. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. That beat is proof you belong here. Not just in this world, but in your own skin. Jung reminded us that the self includes both the light and the shadow, the full circle, not just the polished edge. You were never meant to be just one version of yourself. You are not too soft, not too late, not too different. You are exactly as needed. Belonging isn't something others give you. It's something you return to inside yourself. That strange boy, that misunderstood teenager, that quiet man, they're all part of you, and all of you belongs. If you've ever felt like you were always standing outside the circle, please comment below. Number 1. The next message is tender and vital. Because even when we feel seen and accepted, many of us still don't feel safe. Phrase number 3. You are safe. There's a part of you that's still holding its breath, still waiting for something to go wrong. The next argument, the next loss, the next betrayal. And maybe you don't even realize it because you've lived this way for so long, always on guard, always prepared, smiling on the outside, but inside, bracing. That's not weakness. That's survival. Carl Jung once said, neurosis is a substitute for legitimate suffering. When you were young and weren't allowed to cry, or ask for comfort, or show fear, your mind did what it had to do. It armored up. You became strong. You became capable. But somewhere along the way, you forgot what peace feels like. Now that fear lingers in your shoulders, in your sleepless nights, in your hesitation to trust. But the truth is, you're not in danger anymore. You're not in that house, in that school, in that moment. You're here, and you're safe. Healing begins in the present, not in the past you can't change, or the future you can't predict, but in the now. Try this. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. Breathe. Say quietly, "Right now, I am safe." That's enough. You can also speak to your inner child, the boy who was afraid, who never knew comfort. Tell him, "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You're safe with me now." Create rhythms your body can trust. A warm bath, a gentle walk, soft music before bed. These aren't luxuries. They're medicine. Repetition becomes rhythm, and rhythm becomes safety. Jung taught that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. That old tension is not fate, it's memory. And memories can be soothed. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to feel safe enough to breathe again. The child in you deserves that. If you've ever found it hard to relax, even in quiet moments, leave a comment below. Number 1. The next message is one many older men need to hear. Not because they forgot, but because they were never told. You are enough. Phrase number 4. You are enough. It's exhausting, isn't it? The quiet pressure to keep proving yourself, to be strong, to be useful, to be good enough in the eyes of everyone else. Many of us grew up with the idea that love had to be earned, that you had to be quiet, helpful, successful, never complain, never cry, never take up too much space. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear to survive in the world. But when that mask becomes your identity, the real you starts to disappear. And here's what matters most. The real you never needed to be perfect. The child you once were didn't need fixing. He needed to be held. He needed someone to say, just as you are already enough. Maybe no one ever said those words, but you can say them now, okay? Even quietly. I am enough, even when I'm tired, even when I'm not productive, even when I don't feel strong. You don't have to earn your place in this life. You already have it. Try writing a letter from your younger self, the boy who was always trying to be good enough. Let him speak. He might say he's tired. He might say he's scared to stop striving, afraid of what will happen if he lets go. Reassure him. Let him rest. Because your worth was never based on your performance. Not when you were a boy. Not now. You don't need more medals, more approval, more noise. You need quiet. You need truth. You need truth. You need to know. Just by being here, breathing, existing, you are enough. Message number 5. I forgive you. Some wounds don't bleed, but they echo again and again through memory. Maybe there's a moment from your childhood you still carry. A time you were hurt, dismissed, blamed, or left alone when you needed love. You might not talk about it, you might not even remember it clearly, but your body remembers. Your silence remembers. Carl Jung once said, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents." So often, what hurt you wasn't really about you. It was the pain your parents never dealt with, the anger they never healed, the fears they never named. And yet, the child you were didn't know that he blamed himself. He thought, maybe I wasn't lovable enough. Maybe I deserved it. That's what children do. They make it their fault. But you know now, as a man, that it was never your fault. And still, the guilt lingers. That's why forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It's about releasing what you were never meant to carry. You can write a letter, not to send, but to say what was never said. Let it out, the anger, the sorrow, the disappointment. And when you're ready, whisper, "I forgive you," not for them, for you, so you can breathe again. So your inner child can finally unclench his fists. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's choosing peace over punishment. It's telling yourself, you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you also don't deserve to carry it forever. You can even say it to yourself. I forgive the boy who tried too hard, the teen who acted out, the man who didn't know better. I forgive me, because you were always doing your best with what you had. And now you can choose a different ending. Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." And forgiveness, slow, honest, quiet, is that choice. Not all at once, maybe in waves, but each time you let go, the pain softens, and your story becomes your own again. If you're ready to stop carrying what wasn't yours, comment below. Number 1, and remember, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering differently, with peace. If you've made it here, I want to thank you. Not just for watching, but for feeling. These 5 words may seem simple. I see you. You belong here. You are safe. You are enough. I forgive you. But for many of us, they are words we've waited a lifetime to hear. He believed it was about remembering who we were before the world told us to be someone else, before we wore the masks, before we hid our softness, before we believed the lie that silence was strength. And now you have the power to return. Not all at once, not in a rush, but with softness, with grace, with one word at a time. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're simply a man who learned how to survive, and now you're learning how to live again, or maybe for the very first time. If one of these 5 messages spoke to you today, leave a comment below and write, Number 1, I read every word. Subscribe for more healing truths and positive energy, because aging should never mean silence, shame, or surrender. See you in the next video.